Welcome, one and all, to the Jedi Knights Watch. My name is Graham. Gather round, everybody. We have another Hot Toys unboxing and review for you. We have gone through a Marvel stretch here. You know, for a while it was a lot of DC stuff. Now we're unboxing a lot of Marvel stuff. And a big thank you to Brick Artemis for borrowing me this figure that he was waiting so long for, and he finally got, and he was nice enough to let me unbox and review it. So thank you so much, sir. Taking a look at the box, I really like this image of Wanda herself, Elizabeth Olsen, on the front. It's weird because I really like it, but at the same time, when you get close to it, it's kind of distorted, not as sharp as you'd like it to be. Some of the like the overexposure is there a little bit, but I still really like it, and I just think it's a nice cover for this box. This is going to be TMS 036 because it is from the TV show WandaVision. And this thing, it took 2 years plus for it to come out. And I'm really excited to take a look at this because I've been in the market to add a Scarlet Witch to the collection. I'm just not sure if it's going to be this one or the Doctor Strange 2 one that'll come out. But it does have that typical slip over cover with the window display. Always a nice touch there. I'm not sure why they do that actually, because you can't really see the figure very well in the box because of all the clamshell packaging, the wrap around, and all that stuff. But we're going to take all that off and get a good look here at the figure. I think this head sculpt looks really cool. You can see the array of accessories that she comes with. I'm excited to get those out and talk about those. You know, I think this is going to be a good figure, but I do think there are going to be some things that hold it back. So without further ado, let's get the figure out and talk about it. But first, you guys know what we got to do. We got to get this base out of the way. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it because it's the typical base. It's the typical dynamic stand with the waist grabber. Again, a matte finish with a little bit of grit to it. And then the actual Wanda emblem itself is a gloss soft touch. It says Scarlet Witch on the front. It's got that basic display, which I kind of like. Doesn't have to have the silver nameplate. I do kind of like that it just kind of has the word written right on front. So that's the base. Not going to waste a whole lot of time with that. Let's get the accessories on the table and start with the stuff she comes with. It's not a whole lot. She has a variety of hands. We have the gloveless hands here with the fingers poking out, and you can see a little bit of gloss on the fingernails as well as the glove themselves. Some nice ripping and stitching going on there. I do like these hands a lot, though. I like they're full gloved. At least I think they are. Maybe they're not. They're just the really red at the fingers, but it kind of goes into like a gradient here. You can see it starts dark and then goes really to a bright red. You can light these up, but I think even if you choose not to, like me, I don't put batteries in my figures. I just don't like it. It's a hassle. They don't last long. You risk corrosion, but I think they look good even without the effects. And then we have these like magic effects here too that I've had a hard time getting these to peg in, but they just kind of like peg through the fingers here and then they kind of just stay on. But a lot of the times they'll turn or tip, or they don't feel secure. They look okay. You know, they're actually not like the cheap plastic like some of the lightning effects. They're a thicker looking material, almost like the flame effects that you get. I really like the book a lot. Really cool design here, and the fact that it opens is really sweet. But not only that, it also has pages, individual pages with print and everything on it. So a really nice touch there by Hot Toys. I just wish it stayed closed a little bit easier. Maybe like a magnet or something like that. Just a small magnet just to keep it closed, but still really great effect. And then here's the other magic effect as well. The cloak is a really nice feel to it. Really nice design on it. Feels really high quality. It does have a wire running through both sides plus the hood, so you're going to be able to kind of put that how you want. I'm not sure you're going to be able to do anything with the hood just because, you know, with the hair, you're not going to be able to get it around her, so it's always going to be flat down. But I really like that. We'll show you how it pops on in a little bit. But here we have our first look at the figure. I think the head sculpt looks amazing, but I gotta say, my eye is attracted to those shoulders. I just think it's such an eyesore. It takes so much away from this figure. I think they did, it's like you do 95% of the work, but that 5% that you kind of got lazy on, it really affects the overall figure. And you have this huge gap here where the arms are, and it's not like they couldn't do this. And I know that the prototype, I don't think showed seamless body, but you've been doing seamless body before, so it really should have been done. Taking a look at the figure in hand again, you can see just the huge gap here that kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. And it's not even like flush, but I guess it kind of has to be so that you can actually move the arms. The head sculpt looks really, really good. I'm debating between this and, again, the Doctor Strange, because this one looks a little bit more friendly and that one looks a little bit more, evil. But the headpiece is going to be fixed. I think the makeup design is really nice. The paint application, the hair looks pretty good. Again, Hot Toys does a really good job sculpting their hair. You have a lot of freedom to move the head around. Now, when you get the cape or the cloak on, you're going to restrict yourself in some of that stuff. But the outfit is a really nice design. You got some plastic pieces here with then more like nylon pieces everywhere else, and you got the half sleeves. So again, they could have done like they did with Ahsoka, but they chose not to. I really like this fabric down here. It just feels really good in hand. It looks really nice. The color scheme is really, really nice too, with like that dark burgundy and then the black, and it just looks awesome. Again, it's like a spandex material. The boots are going to be sculpted with the split cut boot design, and I'm really glad they do that, because some of these females where they have the whole boot sculpted, it's really hard to get them to stand or pose. So hopefully we don't have a problem with that. But here we're going to pop this head off, and we're going to put the cape on so that you can kind of see how it works. It's a plastic piece. Just be very careful that you don't like rip the outfit or anything like that, because it's not the best design. And it kind of rides up, so I have a hard time getting it to sit flush, but it definitely does hide those joints. So that is something I'd like to be able to display her without this at time to time, but at least we have the option to hide those joints. But I still think Hot Toys could have given us the seamless body. But on the flip side of that, you don't have to worry about any tearing or anything like that of the skin. But going over articulation here, so with the cape on, you definitely lose a lot of movement in the head. You do have a little side to side, but the hair rubs on this plastic piece. So, take that for what it's worth. The arms are very stiff. They're on like ratchets here, and they can go up to a 90. Just be careful. You want to use force, but it's like you also want to make sure that you're being very careful and stabilizing the rest of the figure when you're doing that. 90 degrees there as well. Double bend in the arm, which is nice. At least they didn't, skimp on that. And then we do have the typical wrist peg as well. No, I didn't feel any swivel in the bicep. And then in the abdomen area, again, this is kind of riding up high on me. Anytime you're moving it, you do have some crunch there, and a little bit back as well. We do have some swivel in the thigh, a little bit, not a whole lot. And she can move her legs to about there. Again, it's a little bit of restriction. That's not bad. I'll take that. And then we do have the double bend in the knee. And then we did talk about the boots being a split cut boot design. So you're going to have some cradle, some swivel, some rock back and forth. And really quickly too, I just want to show you how this light up feature does work. So you can just take the hand off the peg. Just got that nice solid peg there. Slip the sleeve off, and you can see that you need a really small screwdriver. The battery's going there, and then there is that on-off switch. The left arm is going to be just like that as well. Let's just get her on the turntable, show you guys, kind of get her a better look at what she looks like with the cape on. Definitely adds a cool effect to the figure. I think it drapes pretty nice. Looks good. I just think that plastic piece, even here, it's kind of riding up a little bit. It's hard to get it to sit flush on the upper body. Now let's just put some figures next to her and do a little comparison here. I don't have vision, but I do have a couple other Marvel figures that we can just kind of compare for size comparison. So we have Thor on the right from Endgame, and he's going to be quite a bit taller than both of the female figures. And then you have Black Widow, who's going to be a little bit shorter. The newer Black Widow is a hair taller, so she would probably be a little bit more in line with this Scarlet Witch. But I think the size comparison is really, really nice. She's going to look good in your display for sure. Let's get her into some poses and talk about some of the things that I like about the figure and some things not so much. Starting with the things that I really like about the figure, the head sculpt. It came out really good. Paint application is there. The likeness to Elizabeth Olsen is great. The sculpted hair looks good. Very natural. I like it a lot. The second thing that I really like is just the ratcheted arms. While they're not on the seamless body and that metal frame, the ratcheted arms are nice, and they do feel sturdy, and they feel like they're going to last a while. And I also like the cape, and the outfit material overall. It just feels really high quality. It form fits very nice to the figure. And then finally, I like that they used light effects for the wrist pegs. I'm not going to use them, but they are more sturdy and stiff than a normal wrist peg. so it definitely is easier to get the hands on and off. Now for some things that I didn't like as much. The first would be, obviously I've said it multiple times in this video, but the non-seamless body, it bothers me. I like her better without the cape. I'd like to display her kind of like this, but the fact that you can just see those gaudy gaps, the joints there, is just, it's not very flattering, and I do think it takes away from the figure itself. So it is what it is, but at least we do have the option to get them covered. Also, the cape doesn't sit well and does restrict the head movement. It kind of rides up, and you can see it here. It's just hard to get that cape, that harness part, to really fit flush. And finally, the other thing that bothers or annoys me is just the magic effects and how they attach to the hands. It was really hard to figure it out and just getting them to sit right. But once you do get them to sit right, they do look cool, but it was kind of a pain in the rear. Outside of that, I do think this is a really good offering from Hot Toys. You know, if you're interested in Scarlet Witch and you like WandaVision, I think this is one worth picking up. You know, some of the things that I didn't really like about the figure are things that you can hide or don't have to deal with if you really don't want to. So it's a solid release. I like it a lot. I'm still not sure if I'm going to pick up this one or the Doctor Strange 2 one. I think I'm going to need to see that one come out and what it looks like and be able to compare the two before I make that final decision. But again, it's a good figure. I'm still on the fence about getting it. I want to add a Scarlet Witch, so we'll see. Let me know what you guys think of the video in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.